Hello and welcome. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so excited to share all of the work I've done over the past 12 weeks. So yeah, I'll show you around. I've divided the paintings by week again, and so this was the first week, second week, all of that. In the first week, we had to make some abstracts, and I really struggled. I think they turned out fine, but maybe not really my style at all, especially the bottom one. It's pretty dark and not really my favorite colors. I think the top one comes a little bit closer, but yeah, I decided to give all the mixed media materials another try. Starting in this week, we could really go our own route and pick our own materials and do whatever we wanted, really, but yeah, probably shouldn't have gone with the mixed media stuff. It was fun though to experiment a little bit and to not be so attached to the outcome. I also got some fluid acrylics and I tried those and they were really fun to work with, so yeah, no regrets. I experimented some more with the next painting, and it didn't really turn out like my style at all, or even my color palette, but I tried something new and it was interesting. In the second week, I experimented with some abstract. This was the first source that I made by myself, and I think the result is fine. Again, not necessarily my style, but I think it turned out all right. And then I also made this painting. I really enjoyed painting it, but it might be a little bit boring. This is the first painting that I did fully in oils. As you probably have seen in the last three, I did use mixed media materials. I really wanted to try them still. I wanted to like them so bad, and yeah, it just didn't really work out for me. So this is pretty much the point where I decided to just go on in oils, and I believe that that is what my process is supposed to be like. Week after that, I tried gold leaf and I did this interior, which I loved. I really enjoyed painting this, and I feel like it came a little bit closer to my style. I did not paint this whole painting in one sitting, but I did use some sort of an alla prima process. I just went straight in with paints. I have a bit of an underdrawing, but no underpainting, and I did enjoy working that way. I also really loved the gold leaf. I loved the way it looks and how it reflects the light, and I am looking into how I can incorporate that into my painting style, which is a little bit more difficult if I'm just working in oil since it can't go over top, but yeah, I'll figure it out. I also did this painting, which I hate how it turned out. It got so muddy and I didn't know what to do with it anymore, so I have to admit I kind of gave up on this one. That being said, I did really enjoy the underpainting process, and it is a technique that I've used many times before and that I'll probably use many times after because it really sets you up nicely. I think the real problem with this painting was that I just couldn't get into the right headspace. I kept putting layer upon layer upon layer, and it just, yeah, it got really muddy. It's very unfortunate. I wish this was a better painting because I think the concept is really cool, but I kind of just want to throw this one away, in all honesty. I think this is a layer where I messed up and I just didn't know how to fix it afterwards, so yeah, it's unfortunate. I decided to give abstracts another go, and I actually really enjoyed creating these two. I don't think I have any footage of them, but these are in oils, and yeah, it was a much more interesting process that felt a lot more like me. And then for the final week, I did these two paintings. I really enjoyed painting both of them. I honestly really ran out of time though, and so I didn't do all of the details like I was supposed to. I just really wanted to move on to portfolio 2 at this point, so yeah, I mean, they could look better with more work, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with them. As I mentioned, this week I was really strapped on time, and so I tried to speed up a lot of things, which resulted in some errors or some things that just could be improved had I spent a bit more time on it. But yeah, so I did sort of half of an underpainting, and then I glazed, but I glazed with pretty much all yellows because I thought it might make the painting look cohesive, which looking back, I should have just taken the extra time to glaze in different colors too, because I think it would have looked better, but oh well. And then there are some things that just should have needed a little bit more attention, like the lemons aren't actually that yellow, they're actually in a lot of shadow, and so I should have used different colors. I didn't spend a lot of time on the feet, but that being said, I did actually really like this painting, and I enjoy how it turned out. So that was all the work I did over the past 10 weeks or so, and I am pretty happy with them. There are a couple that I really don't love that much, and that's okay. We're still experimenting and trying to figure out what suits us and what doesn't, but that being said, after the mixed media section, which this is the end of the mixed media section for me, we're moving into portfolio, and by now you should have found your voice. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm not there yet. I feel like I have parts of it, and I talked to my coach about it. I felt really anxious about it at one point, and I was like, you know, I feel like I've done everything the way that they wanted me to do it. I stuck to the time commitment, I did all the assignments, I tried all the materials, and I still don't feel like I have any sort of solid voice that I'm comfortable with and that I feel like is truly me. I created 20 sources, which we had to do in order to start portfolio, and I remember sharing them with my coach, and my coach liked them, but I kind of feel like it was more of a theme instead of my voice, if that makes any sense. And the theme looks cohesive and it looks nice enough, and you know, I could paint it, but I just don't feel very confident in it. And so I did decide to start over with the sources. I'm just going to make 20 new ones because, yeah, I don't feel like this is really me. I think where I'm at with it is that I love realism still. I think I like surrealism too, where certain elements are not quite real or a little bit, I don't want to say magical, but you know, I'm struggling with English today, I'm not sure. I hope you understand. Something that's a little bit different that couldn't happen in the real world. I think that would be really special for a painting. A painting that my coach keeps bringing up is this painting that I did in the beginning of the mixed media section of this girl laying on the bed with a book, and there's these swirly lines coming out of the book and a sort of like night sky-ish background, and I really enjoyed painting that. I think that is sort of the style-ish that I'm gonna go with. I think what I would really like for my paintings to do is for them to feel peaceful and feel like home. If I ever could do that in a painting, I'd be very happy. So I think my voice will be some of the things that I really enjoy, like someone drinking a cup of tea at their kitchen table, or cuddling with their pet, or, you know, watering their plants, or just pretty everyday things with a little bit of a surreal, maybe-ish theme to it. I love the swirly lines, so I'm gonna go with that. I generally speaking like quite muted color palettes, so I don't think there will be a lot of neon in it, but I will experiment a little bit with color. And then I am pretty sure that I'll stick to oil painting. I might try acrylics again, but after having done that for the first 5 weeks of the mixed media section, I'm really not enjoying it. I just don't know if that is really for me. I feel like I've given it quite a lot of time and I just haven't found my way with it yet. So maybe it's time to give that up. Yeah, other than that, I guess I just wanted to be honest and say that if maybe you're in the same spot as I am, or maybe you're watching this months later and you're now getting to the same section that I'm in and you haven't quite found your voice yet, I had a really good conversation with my coach about it, and she said that that's okay. She took the mastery program herself too, and she ended up, you know, with a different voice after the mastery program, and she constantly reinvents herself, so it's all right if you don't know yet, or you're not sure, or you just have some elements. I basically asked her if I should maybe take a little break, take like 2 months and just paint 2 paintings a week like you're supposed to do during the program, but do my own thing and try and figure it out before I move into portfolio, or should I just move in portfolio without a very clear vision of my voice. And she said that it's actually better to just stick with the program, just keep going. So yeah, that's where we're at, I guess. It's making me really nervous because, you know, Ellie every video is saying by now you should have found your voice and you should be feeling really happy and excited, and I don't really feel that way. I'm feeling a little bit anxious, and maybe sad is not the right word, but I was just really hoping that I would be in a different spot than I would be, or than I am. And I think part of that is that I had an idea of what it would be like to find my voice, and that would be that by the end of the mixed media section I would have found a solid voice that is totally me, that I could paint in effortlessly, and it just isn't like that, and that's okay. I will have to accept that. And finding my real true voice will probably take years, and that's okay as long as I just keep painting. So that's where I'm at. I just wanted to be open and share what's actually going on and what I'm really doing. So yeah, it's funny, I feel like I have a better idea of what I want my paintings to feel like rather than for them to look like a certain thing. And you know, I do think looking at the 10 pieces that I've done just now, that they look a little bit more cohesive than the first 10 pieces that I did during the mixed media section. So I think I'm making progress, but yeah, just not there yet. I still push myself really hard, and I kind of wish I actually hadn't done that. I wish I had just stuck with things that felt a little bit more comfortable. I feel like maybe I would have had a better idea by now. So, but I can totally see how that is super personal. I feel like some people have to reinvent themselves constantly and do different things and try new colors and materials, and I think for me it would have maybe been beneficial to stick with a certain theme that I am really enjoying and just keep painting, keep building my skills, and try tweaking it rather than completely changing it every time I do a new painting. So that is definitely my idea for portfolio too. I am hoping that I can just have this path now that I'm choosing and stick with it and tweak it along the way, and hopefully it will turn out okay. It's nerve-wracking, but yeah, it is where I'm at. So I hope you enjoyed watching and listening to me ramble, and I'm really excited to share my first few portfolio pieces with you. I will probably release them in some sort of collection, or you know, a couple at a time, and put them on my website, and I have decided to put them up for sale. So yeah, it's scary but exciting too. If you wanted to buy my work at some point, then you finally can. So yeah, I just want to say a really big thank you for being here, and I just really appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'm really grateful for this community. I know that things have been a little bit crazy around here lately, and the videos have been a little scarce. But yeah, hopefully soon everything will be back to normal. So regardless, I just want to say a big thank you, and I'll hopefully see you next week.